Most people are missing this right now. But Bitcoin is quietly trying to recover, and the reason isn't just technicals, it's global politics. Over the last 24 hours, Bitcoin has pushed back toward the $67,000 to $68,000 range after a pretty rough drop late last week. And what's interesting is why this bounce is happening. It's not coming from hype. It's coming from macro. Right now, markets are reacting to new developments involving Donald Trump and Iran. There are reports that the US is entering serious discussions with Iran, and even potentially looking at ending military tensions altogether. And as soon as that news hit, risk assets moved. Stocks bounced, oil pulled back. And crypto, especially Bitcoin, started recovering. We even saw Bitcoin climb back into that mid-$60,000 range after dipping near $65,000, showing signs of stabilization rather than full breakdown. Now here's the key part most people don't understand. Bitcoin is acting like a real-time macro indicator. It trades 24/7. So when global uncertainty shifts like war tensions easing or escalating, Bitcoin reacts immediately. And right now, the market is basically in a wait-and-see phase. We've got support holding around $65,000, resistance sitting closer to $70,000 and above, and price just consolidating in between, so this isn't a full breakout yet, but it is early signs of recovery. And historically, this is where attention starts shifting, because once Bitcoin stabilizes, capital starts rotating. First into majors, then into smaller, early-stage projects. And that's where things can get interesting. Now, while I was looking into all this, I started digging into one project that's been getting mentioned more lately. Yes, I'm talking about Bitcoin Hyper. And again, not financial advice. I actually pulled up their site and started going through the white paper to see what they're building. From what I'm seeing, the focus seems to be on improving transaction speed and scalability, basically trying to solve some of the limitations that traditional Bitcoin faces when it comes to real-world usage. They're positioning it more as a next-phase infrastructure play rather than just another token. And one thing I always look for is whether projects are actually getting visibility. And I've noticed Bitcoin Hyper has already been featured across multiple major crypto publications, which usually means it's at least getting attention from the broader market. So it's one of those early-stage setups where people start paying attention before things really move. Now, if you are looking into pre-sales like this, one thing I'll say, and this is just from experience, is how you buy actually matters. A lot of people still use Ethereum for everything, and end up getting hit with higher gas fees. That's why more people are starting to use networks like Solana when possible, just because the fees are significantly lower and transactions are faster. And that's where using something like the Best Wallet app makes it way easier. You can manage multiple chains, swap assets, and move into pre-sales without dealing with a bunch of complicated steps. It just simplifies the whole process, especially if you're trying to move quickly in early-stage opportunities. But zooming back out, the main takeaway right now is this: Bitcoin isn't pumping yet. But it's also not breaking down. It's stabilizing, and that's usually where the next phase begins. And with global events like this continuing to drive sentiment, this is exactly the type of environment where markets shift fast. So right now it's less about chasing and more about paying attention early. Not financial advice, just what's happening in the market. If you want more updates like this, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll keep breaking these moves down in real time.